Bombing, episode 23. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special episode of Bombing. This is a comedy podcast where we talk about stand-up comedy, and we talk about bombing on stage and bombing in real life. As you can see, we have a very special guest with us.
Yes, we do.
Everybody give a round of applause for Luke Walls.
The very funny Luke Walls.
I deserve more.
Episode 23, folks. We've got a great guest with us today, and we're going to talk a lot about the mics that we do here.
And bombing on stage and in real life.
That's right. So
bombing a lot. So let's get into it, man.
let's do it.
So we know Luke from this mic out in West Hollywood, Badger and Jam. He hosts Thursday. Well, actually, we'll be seeing you this week. We're on your 8 to 9.
I saw that.
Yeah. So we'll be there. And
I look at it this early in the week.
dude, it fills up that quick. It's like a hot ticket now. But yeah, he's like I've seen. We've seen him like go on around town. We've seen him down to Badger and Jam, and we think he's a very funny guy. And so we wanted 40 other people that watch this to know that too. So
We liked you so much that we wanted 40 more people to see you.
yeah, man.
So
This might be my biggest exposure yet.
it might be, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. We just noticed. You know, we go to these open mics, and you notice people. Some people stick out, and some don't. Most don't. But you know, the people who do, you really want to like give them whatever you can. You know, just because you give a shit, and we kind of see that. And yeah, so we just wanted to get you on, dude, and talk to you.
Yeah, man. So thanks for coming.
Glad to do it. There's a lot of people that stick out that you don't want to give a platform to.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Also, you see those people, and you're like, I want to bury that guy.
I don't know if you could fit the blow-up doll into the booth.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you guys seen that guy?
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen
There's a
Blow Up Doll,
comic.
okay.
He's at the Hollywood Comedy a lot, and he's got a few different routines, but it's all with this blow-up doll.
Is it the old guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that
it's
guy.
Banned from the Laugh Factory.
Banned.
I don't even know if Kramer's
Kramer's.
banned from the Laugh Factory.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Hey, do me a favor. Keep that like a little closer to your face.
Eat the mic.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Dude, no, that guy. I know that guy that you're talking about. Old, larger fella.
We saw him on a St. Patrick's Day show, and he came dressed
Green suit.
Yeah, he came dressed as like a leprechaun,
He-
and the set was exactly how you think the set.
He would tell
was.
jokes like from the 40s.
Yeah.
He would end them like, oh, you know.
Yeah, dude.
That guy was a nightmare.
That's rough.
He ironically, on his office door, does have a sign that says Irish need not apply.
Oh man. Yeah, there's a couple of rough folks around town, but Luke's one of the good ones. You can tell the people that like give a shit. They're like, I want to do this, and that's why we wanted to have you on. So thanks for coming on.
Glad to be here.
So a little bit about you. How'd you get into stand up?
I was lonely.
Same.
Honestly, that was like a huge part of it. Like,
Still am.
I wanted to do it like since I was 16.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm going to do it when I go to college because I'll be in LA. And then I didn't because college was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, law school. And then I'm like, I'm going to be a lawyer. Why? Like, I don't need comedy.
Yeah.
And then it was spring break of my last year of law school. And kind of all my friends, like, especially if you're like in Christian circles, everyone's married by like 23.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm just like the weird guy that all of my friends make their kids call them Uncle Luke. And I'm just like, I don't hang out with anybody. So I just looked up open mics, and I'm like, I'll go watch one, see if it's something I think I can do.
Yeah.
So I went to Flappers, and I'm like, oh, I can definitely do this. And and yeah, the next day I went and I did my first mic.
Hell yeah.
Where did you do your first mic?
It was at Flappers.
At Flappers?
In the Yoo-Hoo room. It was at like, they used to do a Friday night one at like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
It was so good.
We were just there like
Dude,
2
I
weeks ago.
hate shit. Flappers, dude. We'll get to that later, but I get you. I bombed hard. But so you're not from LA, right?
No, I'm from Canada.
Oh yeah, you are from
Yeah,
Canada.
Central Alberta.
Right on.
So what got you down to the States at first, or did you come straight from Canada to LA?
Him and Jordan Peterson both.
When I was
yeah.
place.
You know JP, dude.
yeah, well, pretty close to where I live.
Yeah.
He was in like northern Alberta, I live in central, but
Cool, man.
no, when I was like, since I was 12, I went on a mission trip to Mexico, and we like landed in LA and like drove through, and I was like, just the freeways. I'm like, this place is infinitely better than Canada. And yeah,
Canada's
ever
that
since
bad,
then,
eh?
it was like always my goal to be an American.
Cool.
And
Cool.
So 18 years old, my pastor recommended a small Christian college in Pasadena. and I was either gonna go to that one or one in Chicago, and Pasadena was so much cheaper because it started like 5 years before that.
Yeah.
And yeah, since then LA's been home.
Have you ever been to anywhere else in America before LA, or was LA the first place of America that you saw?
I went to Disneyland once when I was 7.
Right on.
But that's Anaheim.
What about since then? Have you just stayed in
Since
LA?
then, so when I came back during the pandemic to like live in the States while I worked remotely, I was gonna live in Austin.
Yeah.
And I was there for a week.
The meme
And
city.
then, oh man,
where everybody
it's-
wants to go.
And then you realize everyone from Austin is an asshole, and the only cool people are comics from other scenes that came there.
Yeah.
And also, the place I was supposed to live. I don't know. Have you guys been to Austin?
No.
Yes, we did on that trip with Mom. The Meg
Oh, that's
trip.
right, we did,
Yeah,
we did.
we've been through there. We saw the bats.
That was years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Did you see 6th Street?
No.
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So yeah. I know 6th Street. It's like their Broadway.
Okay.
For Nashville.
Yeah. So it's like just nightclubs all over,
Yeah.
and then the place that I was staying was direct like above a nightclub.
Yeah.
So it was shaking until 3 a.m.
So you never slept. did
First
you?
night I got there, I get in there, I put my suitcase down, I can feel the ground moving. I'm like, nope. And then I went to a hotel and just like wrote them a demand letter saying, give me my money back or I'll sue.
Nice.
There you go, dude.
And I think they get that a lot because they just gave me my money back immediately.
Dude, hell yeah. That sounds like a scam.
Yeah.
Hayden and I moved to LA like the week Rogan left.
Dude, we passed them on
Yeah,
fucking 40.
We did, dude, and it was August of 2020, and everyone was going, "LA's dead, dude. LA's dead." And we're like, "Please don't stop saying that.
Stop. Oh my god.
Please, I'm betting my whole life on that LA isn't dead." But Austin never.
Keep the point like right at your mouth.
Austin never.
Thanks.
Austin never struck a chord with me.
No, because Austin is a little bit like it's like a bigger version of Nashville. Mm-hmm. I think at least
At least Nashville has music though.
I mean, Austin has music too.
Oh,
but-
Austin has music.
Yeah, but Nashville is Music City. But also,
Yeah.
it's like it's blown up now. But like we grew up in like a kind of like a smaller version of like we grew up when Nashville was like coming up there.
Yeah.
And so it's like if we moved to Austin, like it would just be the same thing. We wouldn't get anything out of it versus moving to a place like LA.
Yeah.
And so we kind of just locked that in and white knuckled it through the first couple of years. But
Dude, the
year
first,
and a half,
the first
but
year
Jesus.
and a half here sucked.
dude, it sucks so hard.
How long have you been here now?
In LA,
Yeah.
so it was like the first 4 years of college I
Yeah.
lived here, and then I went back for a year, came back 3 years of law school, and then I've been back for pretty much a year and a half now, I guess.
Oh, that's right. We didn't explain that. He's a full-fledged lawyer. He does stand up
Yeah.
on the side of lawyering, deciding law. So, like,
People are always like, "Oh, my parents are so disappointed." And I'm like, "Well, my fallback is,
I'm super successful forever.
yeah."
That's tight, man. What's it like just being a lawyer day to day? I'm sure you get that a million times, but
Yeah, what do you do during the day? Do you go do law stuff?
I mean,
Are
I
you
don't,
like, you
I
can't
don't
handle the
leave my
truth, or-
bedroom like because I work
Yeah.
remotely, but yeah, I just draft contracts all day. It's pretty
See,
cool.
I'm such an idiot. Like when I think of lawyer, all I think of is like objection. You know, like
Yeah.
have you ever gotten the yell objection?
I've never gone to court.
Okay.
Since
oh
becoming a lawyer.
man,
Yeah.
all
Probably
right,
good.
Even with the family law firm,
yeah,
I've always just been in the office or
Right on.
remotely.
that's probably the place to be. Anytime I hear a
It
lawyer-
seems so stressful doing trials.
Yeah. It
Yeah?
really does.
Yeah.
I just think of like McConaughey and a Lincoln, like cruising through Angelina
Lincoln
Heights.
lawyer?
Yeah.
That's you, dude. You're
Yeah,
a Lincoln
dude.
lawyer. Cruising around LA in a fucking Lincoln.
My boss actually just today sent me these articles of this lawyer in Edmonton that she was like representing like 6 different plaintiffs
Yeah.
in like a big thing. It's like multi-million-dollar case, and they sued her for like not getting good enough assistance. And then one of the things is like, so we had a meeting the night before at a hotel, and one of the quotes is, "She danced to music for most of it."
so hold on, wait. She was gonna get in trouble for that?
Well, there's a lot more, but like she Yeah, she has like she makes them all like stomp, and they're like, "You got to call me General," and she's like trying to get them like amped up with like a Maori war dance type stuff.
You know, now I'm glad she's getting sued. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of homework.
And then like they're like, "We don't know if we want you representing us," because the night before they like had her drive her home.
Yeah.
And then they had stopped at the liquor store to buy a bunch of wine, and like stopped at a dispensary to buy a bunch of weed gummies.
Oh my God.
And then she's like, "Can you call and give me a wake up call in case I don't wake up myself the next morning
That's
of trial?"
Unprofessional.
Yeah, and then they fired her, and she said a bunch of racist stuff to him. So, it was,
yeah, I don't want her
yeah.
being my
So
lawyer.
she's in trouble.
Yeah. She sounds like she's in trouble, man. You can't have Kramer as your lawyer, dude.
yeah.
Jeez, man.
Kramer lawyer.
Yeah, dude.
How is that not an episode?
For real.
Ah, dude.
Kramer becomes a
Dude,
lawyer.
there's still, this is very like inside baseball. You know, there's still a sign on the door at the factory that says because of the events of like November 2006. There's still like a little sign that's like, "We're so sorry that Kramer," and it has the date on it too. It's like, "We at the factory apologize for 2006. What happened?"
Still.
Yeah, still, and it's all like it's all sun-baked, so it's like beige now. It's not even the right colors.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh man.
I love in Curb Your Enthusiasm, Leon, the black guy, comes to his door. He's like, "It was a long time ago. I'm a good man."
Yeah, I'm a good man. Yeah, dude. That's a rough go, but hey, don't. I guess don't do that.
That's a good show, Curb.
Yeah, I haven't done a deep dive into it, but yeah. So then another namesake of this podcast is bombing. When was the last time you bombed?
My last bomb.
When was your first?
No,
bomb?
I know I ate shit at some point last week. I'm trying to think of when it was. I know it was last week, but I can't remember which specific. It was just like a mic where oh yes, I know. So I was at Fourth Wall this was on Sunday. I try to do the 1 o'clock one after church, and that was good. Except for there was like a homeless guy shouting a bunch throughout it. Like he was
audience?
just in the, yeah.
Never
he just like
good.
came in.
That's
and then
very Fourth Wall.
during the last comic, he like pulled his pants down and Joe Menendez like muscled him out.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, after that, and I'm like, well, that's gonna be the worst experience of today's mics. And then I go to Hollywood Comedy, and it's just, I'm like, man, I miss that homeless guy.
Yeah.
At least he was into it.
Dude, the crowd at Hollywood Comedy are just, they don't give a shit, dude.
It was just a 2 p.m. It was on Saturday. It was like a 2 p.m. 90-degree weather.
Yeah.
A hot mic.
Yeah, that's like a weird room. I've done well there like a few times, but room like closet whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. It's just
It's weird. It's a weird room.
Yeah, it's a weird room. You can't really put a peg in it.
It depends a lot on the people who show up and the host.
Yeah,
They have some great hosts. They have
Yeah.
some hosts that.
The host is a big one. We went to Fourth Wall one time. This was like a month ago, on like a Thursday night, and we didn't know that like that night they were putting on an all black show. And
Chocolate Thursdays.
It was called
Fourth Wall.
It was called Chocolate Thursdays, and so we walk in, and it's just like this sea of like just like all black people, and then it's just us.
The whitest
the
people
white, just
in-
like just
in the world.
just 2 peanuts in the bag of M&Ms, and like. And the first comic goes up, second comic goes up, the third one goes up, and we're like, oh no. And so we do our sets back to back, and we're like, hey, what about Bones or whatever? Just do like our white people shit, and then just get roasted. The whole like the next like 7 comics on the mic were just like, what, you didn't know this was Chocolate Thursdays?
Horrible.
And then like after the show they were cool, like they were just like giving a shit.
Yeah.
Like they were actually cool about it, but like I felt like such an idiot. I felt like such a dumbass. I bombed so hard. None of my jokes landed, man.
I love being the only white guy in any situation.
All right.
I go to the worst Popeyes in the city just for the feeling.
Yeah.
I go to black church sometimes when I need to pick me up.
Hell yeah.
I don't like being touched, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's fun.
There you go.
But yeah, I love doing black mics, like especially when I was in New York. There's one.
You lived in New York?
I was there for a month last year.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try to go again in the spring.
Doing what?
Just mics.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
We had a
Where did
similar trip planned next year. But
Yeah, we wanted to go to New York
yeah.
next year.
Just go like the cellar.
Where
It's
all did
worth
you-
it.
Where
Yeah.
all did you go?
I mean, just all of like I did it like I did here, just every night, just doing whatever mics I could.
Did you go to the cellar at all?
I never went to the cell. I would go to the stand a bunch. It's every Monday. My favorite thing about being in New York was every Monday I would go to Legion of Skanks
Yeah.
because they do their live
Oh,
tapings.
hell yeah, dude.
So much fun.
How's it seeing that live?
It's. I knew I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
I didn't. I got so into it. And I mean, obviously, like
That's
you
so
probably
cool.
noticed I bring it up a bunch. I'm wearing this shirt. I'm a huge fan. Like it was so exciting.
That's
Dude,
so cool.
hell yeah, that's so fun, dude. New York scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it does.
But like, I still want to go. I went once when I was a kid. They were still like, digging all that stuff out of Lower Manhattan. But like,
Oh, it's totally it's the safest place I've ever felt.
yeah, really?
It's the world's softest city.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hot takes from Luke here today.
No, it's nuts. Cause before that I was living here in LA, but I didn't have a car.
Yeah.
So I was like taking the train and stuff, and then you go to New York, and it's so easy to get everywhere,
Yeah.
and there's like normal people on the train, and yeah, just like everyone is like so helpful, like especially if you're lost, because they want you to know so badly that they're from New York. That
Yeah.
everyone,
That's
no
great.
matter how
Yeah.
shady they are going to help you, like the good Samaritan level of help.
Yeah.
Just because they want you to know they're from New York. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, New York scares me also because when we started getting into comedy, obviously the two places to choose were like New York or LA, and New York was like not even close to an option
Yeah, that
because it seemed impossible.
Just
But,
how come?
just because like the moving there and it's expensive and I just don't know New York.
Dude,
like I
dude-
could wrap my head around Los
dude,
Angeles.
Dude, like Zillow, the Upper East Side, like for fun, and then tell me that you wouldn't rather live in LA.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this
it is a
apartment
lot.
sucks. It's kind of shitty. It's tiny, but like, dude,
Yeah.
you're paying $5,000 a month for a broom closet in New York. Like
Yeah.
that. Like
It is crazy.
The whole
And
thing about
and
New York is
two of us.
yeah, and there was two of it. It seemed like unattainable, whereas like LA at least seemed reasonable.
We could at
And the
least
weather's
slum
nice.
it in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we could at least
We
like
knew that.
hack it here.
I can almost see myself like, because it does get a lot better. Like if you want to live in Manhattan, it's gonna be very bad. But if you like go to the farther east, or if you go like driving from New Jersey,
I don't want to drive from New Jersey though, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I like that's the other thing. That's the other thing about like where we moved to in LA. I like being like in Hollywood.
yeah,
Like it's like I wouldn't like you imagine like being south of the 10 or something, and then like having like a stand up dream. It's like you're too. That's it. It's over. You're too far.
Yeah.
You got to be
You're
like
too
in
far.
Hollywood.
even moving from Pasadena to Sherman Oaks,
Well, Pasadena's
it's so
got
much
the,
easier.
That Pasadena's got like the Ice House. They have the Hollywood Comedy Sister Club is up there. That's even like that. That even
Maybe.
like makes more sense. Like
Yeah.
maybe, but it's like, dude, there's like 2 or 3 spots in LA you can really be and like actively like be doing mic after mic after mic and do
Yeah.
like 4 sets a night.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was, I'm glad we landed where we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just barely got into Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
We're like right on the verge of Thai Town almost. But
And our exact address is, no, I'm kidding.
yeah,
You know, whenever someone tells you you're coming to Little Armenia, you're like, nah.
Yeah. Like I don't want pad thai that bad. Come on, man. What was your what do you remember your worst bomb ever?
Mm-hmm.
please share. I love.
Please
this story.
share. I love hearing these.
Lethbridge, Alberta.
Bombing in Alberta.
Yeah, so Lethbridge is not a big city. So it's weird that they have a comedy club at all.
Okay.
But they do. It was pretty new. I'd done one show. The first show that I did was my first show back from the pandemic
Okay.
in like June of 2020.
That's rough.
And I did 20 minutes. First time I'd ever done.
Wow.
20 minutes. Wow.
Before that, my longest set was 10. So I did basically, at the time, all my material.
Yeah.
Plus a little bit of, so how was your pandemic?
Yeah.
Pandering. Yeah. Hey, what's going
You're
on?
just digging up every joke you ever did just to
Luckily,
stretch it.
this was coming right off of George Floyd, so my creative juices were flowing. But,
Yeah. You were gonna take a knee on this one. You were going full.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So that went great, actually. Like,
Good.
All
All right.
That was an awesome weekend. About a couple months later, yeah, this is in August, we go and me and a couple friends, one's crippled, one's blind, we go to do one in another city called Medicine Hat, and they have a club, but so we do 2 shows there, and we all do 15 minutes each. It's
All
great.
right. Yeah.
That show was good. Then we go to that same club that I went to the first time. 20 minutes again, and I started off making fun of the other 2 for
Yeah.
being crippled and blind.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're forcing it on us.
Yeah.
And they liked that. Now, I should point out, there's 5 people in the audience.
Okay.
It's a grown woman's birthday party.
Oh no.
Never good.
there's an age where that stops being cool people who celebrate it.
Yeah.
She has a sash that says birthday queen.
Oh no.
The sash was appropriate. She had a real off with her head vibe.
Yeah.
So after I'm done making fun of the disabled,
Yeah.
silence for 18 minutes.
Oh.
Because I went from that to my suicide stuff. And obviously, judging by her personality, a lot of people are telling her to kill herself throughout her life.
And she doesn't seem already.
She's not vibing with it. And she's shooting looks at the other four, like, also don't vibe with it.
Yeah.
And a grown woman who celebrates her birthday like that is not someone who's going to be fun about you not listening to her.
Probably not.
But
Probably not a funny.
her
human.
boyfriend
Yeah.
is sitting, and he's like leaning back very casually.
All cool.
And if I tell a good joke, he's leaning back and he is smiling.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah. Out of view of her, he's like, ah.
Yeah, but then, so 18 minutes of silence.
Oh.
So bad. And then I get off. Like, I knew I bombed.
Mm-hmm.
But the owner, who he's, there's just like types of comics where they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Fat party guy. So he comes off and like he's like, maybe I'll give you another shot here. I don't know. He's like, I've never seen a bomb like that. And he's like,
Jesus.
and then
What'd you tell him?
another guy was like, he's like, have you done?
You can't say anything. You're just like, all right.
Or someone was like, how did he do last time? And because the other two guys were there at the first time, and they're like, he killed. And then the owner's like, yeah, but he did like 5 minutes. And then the other guy's like, no, he did 20. And the owner's like, ugh. And like, but here's the thing. He's such a bad businessman that he kept like, he started the club in this small town.
Yeah.
So like, he just kept like diluting the ownership, and now he owns none of it.
Oh.
And the people who are running it are good and friends of mine, and they're cool.
Yeah.
So go to Good Times in Lethbridge.
Hit it up.
Next time you're in Canada.
We'll all be be there next week for sure.
Go see Forrest.
That's
but,
right.
yeah.
That's rough, dude. 18 full minutes.
18 minutes of just but it got to the point where I'm like, I know I'm good.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, this is obviously a humbling experience, but at the same time I was like, fuck you, because I realized I found out what they hate, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like, I just went harder and harder into the suicide
It's funny,
stuff.
it's funny. There's a point that you get to in bombing where it's like you get conscious of it, and you're like, this is crazy. Like, I'm doing so bad right now.
And then you lean into it.
And then you can kind of enjoy it a little bit, just because you know that you're sucking.
That's how I figured out black shows. I was bombing,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I think I was getting like a bit of a low blood sugar because I have diabetes as well. And I was like, sorry, I gotta sit down. I have diabetes. That's what qualifies me to do a black show. And I have the video on TikTok, and it's not like, that's not that great a line.
Yeah.
But like,
it's not bad. It's good.
it's real good when you see black people react to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Oh, it was nuts. And then I'm like, oh, just kind of be racist at those shows.
Yeah.
That's what's worked for me. Like, I love doing next stuff,
Yeah,
and I mostly do
like
that kind of
throw a
material.
couple sickle cell jokes in there, and you'll
Yeah.
be solid.
Yeah. If you can just be like the jokey white guy who owns it.
Yeah, and if you hit those like things that people kind of know, but like not a lot of white people know, sickle cell, cocoa butter, diabetes.
Yeah. We do. We love doing next stuff if we can even get up, dude. Because like, I'll forget like the day they post their slotted, and like if you're like if you wait like 2-3 hours, it's already filled up.
It fills
it's a hot
up,
spot.
but it's such a the type of people that show up at that mic are so flaky that if you watch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, all spots always open up.
Really?
Yeah, I never sign up until Tuesdays or Thursdays.
That's some inside baseball there. Maybe we head out to North Hollywood. Maybe set up there.
I think I've
because I love that room. I love the guys that run it. Like, it's such a fun.
Oh, Corey and Alamai are great,
dude. Yeah, it's such like a good energy. Like they're the best hosts. They
in completely opposite ways of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think I've only ever bombed there.
I've done well there a few
times. I think we've gone three or four times. I've never done well there.
It's
I've gone like 2 for 3.
It's the most supportive group of people in comedy that I've ever encountered.
That's probably why it's such a hot ticket, man.
Like, in comedy and just in general, like in life, like they want to see each other doing well. And I don't know. It puts you in a good mood.
Yeah, and you can tell like the good spots from the bad ones, but like Yeah, next up is good. I just wish I could get on there more, man.
One of our favorites is Badger and Jam. That's where we met you.
Yeah.
Badger and Jam.
Where he hosts on Thursdays, folks.
That's right.
Thursdays at Badger and Jam.
I play music now.
You don't mind if I get my guitar right? I was going to do a song.
Dude, Badger and Jam is starting to become like a little bit of a
It's filling up
hot
more,
ticket.
yeah.
Dude, we
love that location. We
Yeah.
love the people that go there. Just one of our favorite spots for sure.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's such a fun night, and we're hitting it twice this week, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And I remember we were like, I think it was like the third or fourth week that it was even like a thing. We heard about it through like just some dude at Hollywood Comedy, and just showed up there, and it was sparse. And now it's like, dude, if you don't sign up like 3 days in advance, you're not getting up there.
Yeah.
I like seeing that. I like that it's become like a hot ticket around town. It's very
Yeah.
cool.
Although I will say, the list fills up.
Yeah.
But if you get there, almost never does everybody show up.
That's right.
That's everybody.
So a
Really
lot of
show up.
times when it's full, I'll just show up anyways. Like if I need to get that hour in.
Yeah.
And I'll just go to the host and be like, if no one shows up, can I go up? Otherwise, I'll leave.
Yeah.
Or I'll just like sit and watch. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I just love the location of the place. I like the people.
It empties out, like driving out of it, you're faced right with a strip club in West Hollywood. The store is right there. You're like, oh, this is so tight. You're like LARPing being a real comic. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, this is so tight. It's like the poor man's store, dude.
It's true. Whichever direction you go, you just drive by the Laugh Factory, the store, and you're like,
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah, one day. One of these days. Have you gone up at the store yet?
I've never gone up at the store.
No?
Are you signing up for potluck on Mondays?
When I remember, I'm so bad about it. But
You gotta
yeah.
set a time.
You gotta set the timer.
I'm
dude.
at this point where I'm like, I gotta challenge someone to a roast just so I can say I've done a set there.
Dude, I would kill a man to see you at roast battle, dude. I bet you're the
great.
best fucking roaster.
I've only done one.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, but it's so much work.
Dude, I bet.
Yeah, but you're the kind of guy that could pull that off, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're funny, you're super funny, you're a good host.
Yeah.
And you're always super quick and usually dark.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
You know what's funny is like, so you guys told me that I was like, you guys mentioned me on the podcast, and
Yeah, with Tony and Kelly.
by the way, if you have a podcast, just tell me you talked about me, and I will watch it.
There you go.
Works for Eric Roach's podcast too. He's like, we talked about you. I'm
Yeah.
like, nice. But every time I'm like, I'll do this and I'll show it to my family and they'll be proud of me. But every time people talk about me, they're like, yeah, it's really fun. So dark, just the most messed up stuff.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
you go dark.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
go dark.
It's fun. I thought I'd be a clean comic when I started.
Yeah.
For real?
I did not think it, like, so
You.
I thought like eventually that's how it was gonna work out.
All right.
Like I had the first stuff I did, like my first joke was an R. Kelly joke. But yeah, like the first night was all like dark
what year?
stuff.
What year was this?
2019.
Okay.
So like the documentaries were popping, and it was like the first thing I mentioned. I'm like, I know it's not cool to love R. Kelly, and one like lady in the back's like, no, it's not, and I'm like, getting into the heckling early.
There you go.
But no, that's how it went great. But yeah, I thought but yeah, the first night was all like dark jokes and like suicide stuff.
Yeah.
And then the host was like, well, that is not what I thought he'd say.
That's pretty good.
Oh fuck,
Man,
that's funny.
The night of my first set is just, it feels like it didn't happen. Like it's
Did you do-
unreal.
Did you
like
do
it
all
was,
right? Do you think?
I don't. I this sounds so douchey, but I did very well.
I did well on mine also. My first set went very
And it
well.
was life changing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it driving home, and then like I met up with some friends the next day, and I'm like, guess what I did last night? Because like I had never really talked about like wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Like people knew, because like it was like kind of my reputation, just the guy who only cares about jokes. But like, oh man, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the greatest blessings ever.
You were sitting in your apartment or whatever, and you were like, I'm gonna just go see a comedy show.
I was gonna watch an open mic.
You're gonna watch an open mic, and you went to Flappers.
Yeah, because I wanted to see like specifically that level.
Yeah.
Because like I would go to the Improv all the time. Like I would use the Meetup app.
Yeah.
And then there would just always be free tickets to shows. So I would do that all the time. But
I did the same exact thing. Back in Nashville, I just went. I was in this weird, horrible time in my life, and I was just like, and I was just trying like all this new shit. I fucking got my skydiving license.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out of planes. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that'll fix it.
Yeah, I just-
that'll fix it.
Just searching for an identity, dude. And so I was like, oh, okay, open mics or comedy or whatever, and I just went to open mic at Third Coast Comedy Club.
Shout out Third Coast Comedy Club downtown
And,
Nashville.
Great little club, dude.
Awesome room.
And I sat there and I was like, I just want to see if I can do this. And I saw they all did 5 minutes, it was like an hour long. And I was like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I know I can do at least that.
Yeah.
And then, came back, and I started, like, writing some shit. And then, like, I think it was, like, a month later, like, an acquaintance of a friend of mine was like, hey, it's my birthday, we should all go to an open mic. And I had already had shit out, like, written out.
Which is what half of open mics are.
Yeah. and he, like, the idea was like, hey, we should all, like, go up and do 5. And I was like, it was just, like, the wildest fucking thing. And everyone was like, yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. They all bailed. Like, of course, they all fucking bailed.
Yeah.
But we all went. And I was like, yeah, I'll go up. And they were like, oh, shit, like, you're actually doing it. And he went up and he did, like, all right. And but then I went up and I did like really well, and and then like afterwards we were just all in the car like driving home, and I was just like numb. I was like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, that was awesome. Like, I just couldn't talk to people. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever, dude. And it just changed my fucking life forever. It was so cool.
Yeah, man.
And then it took over my life.
Yeah. And now I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Now I'm stuck in Los Angeles.
You know,
man.
people are like, what do you do with your day? I'm like, I work until, the end of the day, and then I leave immediately and do mics until I'm sleepy.
Yeah, man. But that's the way to do it, man.
Dude, what a fun world stand-up is, though. Like, I almost can't remember my life before I found stand-up. Because
it seems awful.
My
yeah,
life.
it does. Because now it's like, dude, it's such a cool life. I've told Hayden this story a bunch of times, and he relates to it a lot. There's a lot of similarities. Growing up, I was like, oh, I'm kind of funny, and I like making people laugh. And then during high school, I would go to the theater and stand on the stage, like during lunch, and just be like, "Oh, I kind of want this. I think this is cool." Never imagined stand up. Wanted like attention from people, but still never thought in a million years like stand up was the thing. And then just like after all this time, it was like, "Oh, fucking stand up. Like that's it."
Yeah.
And
how weird is it that like, oh, that was the thing?
I never would have fucking.
You're like, oh, wow, wait, it's this.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like, I just wanted attention from people. That is theater to a T.
Yeah. I wanted attention from people. I felt I was funny. I liked making people laugh. I liked the stage. I liked something about a stage was cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I really dug was like touring. Like I'd look at some of my favorite bands and they'd go on tour. And they'd be like, dude, we're in this city for a night, and then on to the next. And I was like, dude, if I could just find something that's all of those things, dude, I'm set. And even then, I was like, but I'm not going to be a comedian.
Yeah.
But,
here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
Yeah, man.
On episode 23 of
23, dude. Episode 23.
The tangential thing for me that got me wanting to do it was it was around the time I was starting to listen to a bunch of podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Your Mom's House and Theo Vaughn and all them, and they would all talk about hanging out at the comedy clubs.
Yes.
And just the hang. And that's really what was the last thing, because with the loneliness especially, that's what drew me in. I'm like, maybe I'm not going to be great at comedy, but there will be people around me. And I'm like, that's really all I wanted.
Yeah.
And then turns out, comedy is so much fun. It's the funnest thing you can do.
It's the coolest thing. And you meet the coolest people, dude. Not only is the job so fucking cool, you just meet the most interesting people. And you get to just do the coolest fucking thing.
Because it takes an interesting person to do this. To be I'm gonna have a shitty day job or whatever, and then do this at night.
Yeah.
That's why when you see a hot person come up, a lot of times back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling goes on stage, you're just dude, chill. Come on.
Dude, hearing comedians talk
there's some unicorns, but
hearing comedians talk about hanging out at clubs and shit was what brought us to LA. That people talking about the Comedy Store specifically.
Dude, that was one of the big things was hearing about when we were getting into stand up, was hearing about specifically the Comedy Store.
Yep.
That those 4 walls in West Hollywood off of Sunset, just hearing about that, like some Eye of Sauron or whatever. It drew us over there, and we we felt this pull over to this weird black and white and red building. The perfect building ever. And
I fucking love the store, man.
Yeah, and it was just like that, like we saw it, we went there, we were like, that's the spot. We moved out here. It was closed for a year and a half, but then it opened back up and everything was fine. And then I got to go on 9 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I went on in the main room in the potluck, and dude, it changed my fucking life. It was I've told this story on the podcast before, but I was there's like 4 or 5 steps up to the stage in the OR, and like the first 2 were normal, and then the third, the fourth, and the fifth were like slow motion, and then I like put my left hand on the mic, my right hand on the stand, and it was like going in slow motion. I was like, dude, Letterman, Pryor, Burr, anyone that I ever looked up to in comedy had this same look, and it was like a full room. And then as soon as I like popped the mic out, I went right into my shit, and it went. I crushed. It was like one of my best sets ever.
Really
Thank
good.
fucking God.
man, the feeling of like having a full room, like especially one that's like set up to be a comedy club.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's
it's not just comedians.
it's a whole
waiting to
different
go on.
experience, and it's so much easier.
Yeah,
but
versus
it's
an
so
open
fun.
mic where it's just the other open micers like that wins my time, and like they've heard half of them have heard all your shit around town, you know.
Yeah, some of my best experiences is a place in Calgary called the Laugh Shop.
Yeah.
And like they would have like an amateur night, and they had like pretty strict rules for you. Like absolutely do not go a second over 5.
Yeah.
Only do your absolute 5 best minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like each time I've done it, it's like sold out, and like it went so well. It was
There's something about having just like reggae, like just normal people in the crowd, you know.
yeah.
It's like
I think it's because they're like stupid. And they're not. I think that's what it is because they're not comedians.
You get away with a lot more. Like a throwaway line that you were just like, whatever in your act, like an open mic, it'll kill for no reason. You're like, I get, and then you're sitting up there and they're laughing, and you're like,
that's funny.
That's funny. Seriously, all right.
Yeah.
And you keep going.
Oh, but then when you're sitting in the back of the room and you see someone you know is a hack.
Yeah.
And they're crushing with real people. You're like,
you're like,
guys,
man.
no,
That ain't it.
Fuck, dude.
Oh, maybe I suck.
I love doing. Speaking of real audiences, we've been getting some good shows recently.
Yeah.
We've like having our own like real shows is like very new to us. Our first one was at the Comedy Boulevard,
Yeah.
and that was a real audience, and we both did very well that night, and that was my first experience with like having real audiences there, and then Hayden had one at Ha Ha's Comedy Club. And then I did
Got
one.
another one on the 10th. Everybody listening, if you're
Hayden
in
will
LA,
be at Ha
I'll
Ha's
be at Haas in North Hollywood
on the 10th.
July 10th. Come on out.
Make sure to check them out.
Yeah.
I had a show just the other night at Ha Ha's, and the shows I've done my best.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to fucking the Hollywood Comedy and eat my balls.
Yeah, dude. You just eat plates and plates and plates.
And you just kind of gotta look at it in that perspective of those. No one expects you for you to clap in practice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's how you gotta look at it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you get lucky and it is great,
Yeah.
or like for some reason people just waltz into Hollywood comedy sometimes, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You're like, thank God.
Yeah, that's what I like about the improv is there's very rarely like real people in there, but there's so many open micers in there, and it's gonna be like a lot of people you don't know
Have you gone up at the Improv?
for the open mics. Yeah,
Oh yeah. What
Yeah.
time?
How do those even work? I haven't even looked into that.
it's a bucket mic
Yeah?
What time and when?
on Tuesdays at 5:30 until 7, and then Tuesdays is like, I think Tuesdays 5:30 till 7, Wednesdays 6 till 8, and then 8 till 10.
I was 6 to 8. All right.
We
Yeah.
could
That'd
just
work.
start doing the Wednesday nights.
Yeah, I just drive past the Laugh Factory all the time and see like that line of people out, and I'm like, they've been sitting there since 1 p.m. That's the most archaic like sign up form ever. Because like you'll drive past there at 1 and like, yeah, I can't wait till 5 o'clock when I can sign up. It's like, do you not have like a job? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I gotta start just going there and hoping I get the luck of the bucket though, because
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it is
maybe.
it's good.
I think we're.
It's got to be clean though. That's tough.
Wait, where at the
can we get
factory?
At Laugh Factory at their mic, but
I can be clean.
TV clean just mostly means no efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say shit?
I don't know. Looks like Kramer really did it.
I would avoid
really
it,
did a
but,
deal on that. They're like only clean open micers.
There's
from
one thing
now
I
on.
know for sure you can't say.
Yeah.
It's his name.
But even then, I'm not sure if it's a one and done thing because no one took him off the stage the first 17
he
times
got
he
4
said
or
it.
5 more in, man. Whew. Man,
Kramer,
dude.
God, I hope that doesn't happen to me.
That you just go off and
I
call
just
Black Dude the N-word a bunch of
Kramer-
times.
Kramer myself, dude. He must have just not been thinking, man.
All right, short intermission. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
make.
let's take a quick break.
I'm gonna make a drink.
And we're back, baby.
We are back, baby.
All right. During the break, we were talking about poor people skills. I think that's a good thing to talk about.
Poor people skills.
I'm fucking really bad with people. I assume.
Oh, well, I thought you meant like skills for poor people, but
Oh.
okay, go ahead.
I assume everyone hates me. When I walk up to a person and I go, hello, I just automatically think I'm like, oh, they hate me. And I suck.
Yeah.
And just all this horrible shit. And but like you said, the comedy helps because it kind of gives us all a common theme to talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
And we can kind of relate to all that. And we've met some people. We've met you. We've met Tom Kelly and Nick DeToni, and we're starting to make some friends out here, and it's been really nice.
Yeah, it's weird meeting new people as an adult too, especially.
Yeah.
Like, especially in your mid 20s still, because like all your friends are back home, and like you've known them all for over a decade, and it's like now you have to bring like new people into the circle, and you're like, well, all right, well, how's this gonna go? How's this person? But,
And they're meeting like a different you, like
that's
I've noticed a
huge thing.
lot that like the me now isn't like the me who made my group of friends back in Nashville.
I was 12.
Yeah.
You know.
And we all knew each other through high school,
Yeah,
and
we grew up together.
a few years after high school, and then I moved out here. I'm just a completely different person. So, and then like even they'll call me and we'll talk, and I'm just like, it's cool because I love them, but like I'm like a different person now, and it's neat.
It's also weird knowing all these people in the context of the one thing I'm good at.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, man.
for real.
like none of my other friends know me as like really being good at it. Like they know me from being like the guy that makes jokes.
Yeah.
But like, also, and before I started doing comedy, this felt so lame about me, and I recognized it about me. I'm like, the only thing I care about is that I'm funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't do the one thing where that's useful.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, I ruin parties.
Yeah.
I don't drink and I ruin parties.
Yeah.
I used to ruin parties by drinking.
Yeah.
I used to ruin parties by just getting hammered.
Yeah, man.
Fucking horrible, dude. But it's it's crucial. They say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And
now who we know is so many more Jews.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Precisely.
But it's fun. It's been nice. It's been like nice getting out there a bit and getting to know people. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. I'm the kind of guy who's just like, leave me alone. I'll do it by myself,
Yeah.
and I'll do it the right way, and it'll be done. But that's not healthy.
And no, it's not great. But that's like a lot of comics that I meet too. Just like out here, they're like a lot of them are kind of just like loners. They're like, look, just like let me do my thing. I can control this.
But deep down, like deep down, that like they want some friendship.
Yeah.
Like what I've noticed a lot, for me, it's like I'm like the leave me alone guy, but deep down, I would like for someone to reach out and be like, hey, we should hang out. And even if someone does that, I'm like, no, I'm busy,
Oh yeah, I will never meet up with someone outside of it.
Yeah,
like I
dude.
want to so badly.
Yeah.
But I never. But like sometimes like a fun hang after a mic is. I'll think about that super fondly, like way more, even if I like killed.
Yeah.
I'll think of that and I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
so great.
You're like,
It was
"Oh,
good.
that
So
was awesome."
what I noticed was like, okay, if I feel this way, I know other people feel this way. So like, I need to be the guy who reaches out and is like, hey, shut up, like idiot, like hey,
Listen to me.
hang out.
Let's hang out. Yeah,
hang
yeah.
out with me. I've had this problem with like coworkers and people. They'll be like, hey, we should invite us to one of your shows one week, and I'm like, nah, you don't want to come to my show. And they're like, no, I'm telling you, I want to. And even then, I'm like, nah, you don't actually want to, you know?
Well, for me, I'm like, wait till I have a good show.
Yeah, that too.
Because, like, I'll always, like, promote my shows, but a lot of times, like, especially if I know if they genuinely want to see me, I will be like, unless they're only in town for, like, a weekend, like, I will be like, this specific show is what you should go to. Because I know the book, I know that they're going to put other good comics on.
Yeah.
You know, they're not, like, playing, like, politics games or anything. Like,
Yeah.
there's one show that I hope to do in the future that's going to be the one that I'm like, come to this one.
Yeah.
That's the one you need to see, because then they fly out of LAX and they're like, dude, this Luke guy's crushing it. And then they think you do that every night instead of going up at Hollywood Comedy and bombing, you know?
Yeah, dude. I just did my show at HaHa's the other night, and I had coworkers. They were like, "We should come," and I was like, don't worry about it. And but I did really well. I wish they came.
So I was in town to take like a professional responsibility test it was like the last requirement for the bar exam, and because this is when I was back in Canada, but I like came down for a week, and it was the week before the pandemic started.
Oh yes.
But like everyone's like, oh, we want to see you do stand up, and I'm like, well, I don't have any shows. I'm just doing mics each night, and they're like, well, can we go to that? And I'm like, in theory, and so like. It's like 8 or 9 people, all from college, and like my college biblical theological professor and his wife came, and it was fine. We went to the NoHo Fourth Wall, which they were all like, "This is a little sketchy. Is this what you do every night?"
It's like attached to a 7-Eleven, and you're just like, "This isn't a comedy club."
Yeah, I mean, if it existed, I probably would have taken him to the cafe or the Badger and Jam nowadays. But I mean, it was fine. It went fine. Although afterwards we're all talking, and they're like, "Why don't girls like you?"
Case in point, man.
And I was like, "Hey, you just saw it."
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's like it's the things I choose to talk about and the way I talk about them.
Yeah, man. Also, there's a big difference between shows and like open mics.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone touching on what Ryan said, they mean well. They're like, "Hey, I want to come to one of your shows," and it's like, it's not a show. I have like this set here, and then like 3 more of them in the rest of the night, and everyone in the audience is also a comic. That's not like a show. You want to come to a show.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's so embarrassing to bring 8 non-comics to
Dude,
my...
that's true. That's the thing. It's because like they mean well.
They
like
mean well. Look, they mean well. I'm not.
And everybody else is psyched that they're there.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because they get like a free audience.
We want to come support. It's like, no, it's not.
It's not
There's
that.
potential for horrible damage tonight.
Yeah.
And you're gonna look at me differently forever.
Yeah.
Like I can't like a coworkers of mine. They'll be like, "Well, come to the shows," and I'm like, I can't. Because you'll see me differently, and then I'll have to quit my job and find a new one.
Have to change my name.
Yeah, dude. I'll have to fucking leave this job.
My big thing is I got there, and it was like NoHo Fourth Wall, and then like Spence Griffith and Mike Sasson, who I don't know if you guys know them, but they're both very funny, like older comics that I respect a lot. And I'm like, they see me bringing all these people, they're gonna think I'm like psyched about this.
Man.
Dude, fuck. Oh my god.
That's rough. That's a rough spot.
Yeah, and I mean, I was like, it did mean a lot that they wanted to come see it.
No, it does.
Yeah.
It does mean a lot, but it's like they kind of don't know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Dude, my boss came to one of my shows one time, and
he did great though. By the way,
I did.
Before he finishes this, he did really good.
I happened to crush, like not to suck my own dick too hard. Best comic of the night, but
Besides me, of course.
But yeah, were you on that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. Anyway, but my boss at this job I really like was like, hey, I want to. She's lived in L.A. her whole life. She's had a lot of people come through her business and in the entertainment industry and whatever. She's like, I want to come see your show, and I was like, yeah, sure, it's here, and like didn't expect her to come. And then as they're like, all right, coming to the stage, first comic, she walks in with her like adult daughter, and I was just like, oh my god! And then my first joke was like about like
how much you hate the job you work at. This job sucks.
No, it was.
What's the deal with women bosses?
Yeah, dude. I forget what it was like. I think it was like shitting so hard my nose bleeds or something. It's just something ridiculous like that. But anyway, at the end of the night, I fucking killed, and and after the show, she, we all got up and she was like, "Hey, you did really well tonight. That was really cool."
Here's a raise.
and that felt cool.
Yeah.
That was fine. But it's like that's not 99% of the times it doesn't go that like cleanly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had a similar thing where I was doing a show and my boss, like at the family law firm, she was just happened to be there. Like she didn't even know I was on the lineup.
Oh. She's a random
yeah,
guest.
so we're like just talking, and I remember I was gonna work on some newer, more me kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I sit here, I'm like, well, gotta change my set list.
Oh no.
But no, I just and then so that was on like Friday, and the next Monday morning at work, I'm in her office and we're just like going over stuff that has to be done in the week. And she's like, oh, by the way, I don't know if you were actually molested, but if you were, glad you're okay.
You're like, don't bring up my set, all right?
Don't do my bits, dude.
That's
The
staying
amount
too
of
close.
times I have to kind of come off as like I have to do like a heel turn because I've had it too many times where after shows like always women will come up to me afterwards and be like,
Don't
it
brag.
wasn't your fault, or like
It's
it'll
like
be
calling
something like that, or they'll be like, keep telling the truth, what you did was so raw, so real. I'm like, that's not my intention.
Leave me alone. Don't touch me.
They're like, I felt heard, and I'm like, nope, you misunderstood. You shouldn't.
That's so good.
Oh, that's
I've gotten
hilarious.
rid of bits because they're too agreeable.
Yeah.
And I didn't want people to think that I meant the other stuff I was saying.
Yeah, you're just like send it to the trash. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. All right, well, we have an email segment, right?
We do have an email.
We do have an email segment.
Play the jingle.
It's
Yeah.
just make up a jingle.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
It's we have an email.
It's actually just the music to Deutschland über alles.
We have an email. It's
See?
bombing
Yeah.
bombingpodcast@gmail.com, and every week we go ahead.
I was gonna say seriously, please email us.
Please.
We know him and like 3 other people out here. Please email us, dude. We need
no one ever emails
They need
us.
your data.
We need your data. Dude.
So-
We're trying to farm your
Every
location.
week we ask the audience to email us, and every once in a while we'll get like one.
Yeah, I want to know if you were close to an abortion clinic or not.
That's right.
I need your metadata.
Bombingpodcast@gmail.com, and
Speaking of abortion clinics, that's my weekend plans.
we don't check it all week until live on the podcast.
Dude,
So we're gonna check it right now.
Dude, we're gonna check it right now. How much work did the Supreme Court just give themselves? You know what I mean?
I feel bad for people taking the bar.
Dude,
It's a
yeah,
real curveball.
dude, it's all out the window, dude. They could have just been like, we're gonna push this off till like next year, and then the amount of like lawsuits that are gonna come towards it. They just gave themselves so much homework. You know, the kid like when you were in, like in high school, that was like class was about to get out, and then that one kid was like, excuse me, teacher, what about did you collect the homework from lesson? That's just what they did.
Everyone's like,
dude, come on, man.
What's very frustrating is on Wednesday,
Yeah.
I stumbled upon a little bit
Yeah.
that I've been working on about a high-end abortion clinic.
Yeah.
How fun that would be. And then Friday, it goes great on Wednesday night, goes great on Thursday night while I'm hosting. And then Friday, all of a sudden, it's not funny to people no more.
Dude, I bet. I wonder why.
Now I gotta wait 3 weeks.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude. I did the same thing. You remember like a month and a half ago when they announced that like, hey, we're gonna think about doing that.
Yeah.
I had so much abortion material built up, and then it killed when it was still like, but they're not gonna. And then as soon as they did, it all just no laughs.
Yeah.
Everyone was just so mad. I was just like, all right, next topic. Jesus.
Man, social media is uncomfortable as a Christian this week. It sucks. I have to, like, I started playing, like, really involved video games, so I'm not checking my phone in between loading screens.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's like all my friends are being like, Christians are the worst people in the world. And I'm like, you were so nice to me 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Chill. What happened, man? What happened?
You've been going to church your whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we grew up going to church
we did.
in Nashville. We went to a Baptist church in Woodmont Hills.
Till about 14, maybe 13.
Yeah.
13, 14.
Until we were both violently molested. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
No.
just fell out.
Yeah.
That was just never my thing. I just never
Dude, I will say my one note on like
You're like, God's not amazing enough. I'm just gonna stare at planes
That's
now.
right. Planes,
Yeah.
airplanes. Are
Okay.
cooler.
God's not as cool as jet fuel is. So. No, but dude, like my one note like on religion, especially like after I moved out to LA, is that I used to think that like super religious people were just like closed minded, like idiots just from like where I grew up from. And then I moved to Los Angeles. And I was like, maybe there is a God.
It's like, and then I met witches, and they won't listen to anything.
And then
That's so crazy.
yeah, I met like crystal hex girls, and I was just like, dude,
Yeah.
yeah, there's God, yeah, Jesus was real, and the Jews did kill him. But
Yeah. They don't want to hear it, but
yeah, they don't want to hear it. But yeah, I used to like. And this is all like a very reactionary thing, like growing up as a teenager, like in a church. Reactionary. I was like, fuck the Christian people, whatever. And then the older I get, like the more I guess, like the older I get, the more mature I get. I'm like, there's something to that. I get it. I do get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
when you go to it's funny when you go to like East Side mics and you hear like all these like comics, like the hipster comics, be like, oh, my religious trauma, and then a lot of times you like press them on it. It's like, I was bored for 2 hours every Sunday.
Like, yeah, you can handle 2 hours. They give you wine and a wafer. Relax. You can sit through.
My dad called me a slut for sucking off the whole lacrosse team. Christians are only evil.
Yeah, man. But I think that's part of just being like a teenager and then like going into your early 20s is like everything that you were brought up around naturally. You're just like, dude, fuck all that.
Yeah.
Man, fuck that. This is fucking
It's like
dumb.
what we said before the podcast of, my dad would be like, Stern's funny, and I'm like, Opie and Anthony.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm an O&A guy. Yeah, fuck that. And then once like the waters kind of settle and you're like an adult in your own right, you kind of have a more calm approach to it. And you're like yeah, I get it.
I'm like, Baba Booey.
Opie and Anthony was super funny. It's funny that you mentioned them. I was listening to them today at lunch during work, and I'll just listen to old reruns of like when Louis was on or when Burr was on.
Dude, Burr and Louis were the best.
So funny, man.
So funny.
And I just like once you get into like the history of O&A,
Yeah.
it's just endless hours of material.
There's like a
hours of them fighting.
Yeah.
There's like a deep lore of O&A of O&A
Yeah.
that like once you get into it, it's like a spiral down where you're like, oh my god.
The two shows,
Rogan,
the walkover, all the comics are on, and
the bird spittle bit. Yeah.
Just these random weirdos that are calling in and become a part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Jim Norton. They just brought him in to try to stop them from fighting.
Yeah.
And now he was a part of the show.
Yeah.
But
that was great.
Anyway, email. We were talking email.
Oh,
a roundabout way to say email.
You mind grabbing the laptop? We have an email.
So every week, I've watched a few. I don't know if I've ever seen this part. You just check, and then a bunch of times like, there's nothing.
That's right. So this is...
So here's the thing. We don't check this until the day of the podcast that we're actually filming.
Oh, this is to get like natural responses from
Yes,
you guys?
yes,
Okay.
exactly. So we don't check any of the emails till we're actually recording. So if you do email us, it'll be responded to live on the air by 2 college dropouts and a lawyer. So
That's right.
Why don't you just get your interns to do this? Jamie, bring it up.
Jamie, you mind grabbing the laptop?
Interns.
Oh, what were you watching? Oh, it's a background.
So, my background is the Comedy Store stage.
Hey, man.
Ooh, excuse me.
Mine's actually the Comedy Nook stage.
We're going up there on Thursday.
I've actually never been.
Yeah? It's a cool room, man. Dude.
It's got a lot of doors in it.
Yeah, it has a ton of doors.
Oh, all right, hold on. I just logged in. All right, hold on.
All right.
We already explained it.
Yeah.
Email, Bombing Podcast. We don't check it till we're live on the podcast. We're going to check it right now. Here we go. Let's see. Also, we don't name names. Let's check the email.
An email's like a fax, but it ruins your fax machine.
All right, so we have something from the Google account. Let's
read this. Bombing. Take the next step on your Mac device by confirming your Google account settings. Well, when you're trying a new joke,
all right.
I'm going to exit out of that one.
Yeah, man.
This is from this person. We don't name names. What the fuck? All right.
There's a picture.
Oh, we have a picture.
We have a picture.
Oh, that's definitely your lesbian mom.
All All right, the title of this email is "Life Has," in all capitals, to be a simulation.
What up, bomb squad? Is that airport guy from Ohio? It's that airport guy from Ohio again. This he wrote in a couple times before.
Yeah.
Putting a lot less effort into this email, but still writing it on company time. Thinking about your rant
That's
about
wage stealing. Thanks.
thinking about your rant about violently restarting the government. You guys both sound like George Carlin. Speaking of politicians, you should check out this lady from my city who runs for mayor every few years because God told her she is the rightful ruler of the city. If elected, she will immediately build an amusement park next to the river and make Toledo a vacation destination. If she isn't elected, God will bring great destruction upon the whole city. Needless to say, she has my vote. And then there's a picture of a moron.
Of a straight up dime piece.
There's a picture of her standing in front of a Ford Chrysler fucking Windstar or whatever that van is.
Here's the thing. If you tell the children of Toledo about her platform, they will help her rise up. She'll have an army of children that are promised an amusement park.
She would. With a van like that, she would.
It astounds me that she hasn't won yet.
All aboard. I'm going to read the sign that's on top of her van.
She looks like Conway Twitty.
All aboard. Help me turn Toledo into the prosperous vacation city, bringing job money, big money, less crime, everyday junk. This woman's not going to win.
Jamie, bring the picture up.
This woman sucks. No way she makes Toledo a cool vacation
Yeah,
spot.
yeah. Also Toledo. Do you understand that Miami exists? Like, do you know that Florida's a whole ass state? No one's going to Toledo.
And then there's a link. I might put up this picture on the pod.
Put it like right there.
I might put. All right. Here's the picture.
Have it replacing the
Has
map for the whole time.
has any U.S. president owned a minivan?
No. And then there's a link that says, "Here's a quick video of her on the news." I'm curious.
Let's watch it. Can we link this audio?
Yeah,
God has told me.
This video will play over us right now. Ready? Here we go.
35 seconds. That's not promising.
Machines. God has told me that
She's got sickle eyebrows.
Great destruction will come upon the
Would you fly the planes? Relax.
Thank you, Jesus.
500, I got 500, I got 500.
We rattling off cattle, dude.
What I earned in 2013 back, and I'm not on that seat.
How do you go from
In
English
November,
I think she's speaking in
you'll
tongues.
see
And then
God
right back
coming
to it.
and visiting the city. And I said, Lord,
That sucked.
Yeah, that was awful. That was almost as bad.
I hate her.
You know what that kind of reminded me of?
I hope she dies.
Was snake revivalists in the South. Do you know what a snake revivalist is?
Is that
no idea.
like
Oh,
the
I'm
snake charmers?
I'm so glad I get to introduce you
Oh,
to
God,
this.
here it goes.
So there's this like sect, and this is like a very like from the South thing of these people, and they're religious fanatics, and they put up these tents all across like Mississippi, Alabama, Southern Tennessee, and they hold snakes in their hands, and they tell them that because they can tame the snakes, they can heal and forgive your sins in the eyes of Jesus. And they do all these. They like play the flute and everything, and they like have snakes bite people, and they all look like that. They all look exactly like that.
You're a Christian. You like this girl? Did you think is she the one?
I mean, obviously Pentecostal.
I don't know about this woman, man.
Yeah.
I like her on a practical level. Idea of an army. If she mobilizes the army of children, and if she listens to my way of winning this, which is an army of children, promised an amusement park, they'll fight for her.
Yeah.
Oh my! Look at her. The email ends by saying, "Life has to be a simulation. I keep meeting these people that are completely detached from reality. It's awesome. Sincerely, blank." funny. He said blank.
He did say blank. That's
He knows
good.
that we
This-
don't name names.
That's good. Go back to his email real quick. I'm going to criticize him a little further.
This is a repeat emailer.
Yeah, he's a frequent on the show.
If this fella,
Good dude.
if this fella can write Mississippi Woman, Louisiana Man with Loretta Lynn, I think he's got this election hands down.
Did he have a question?
Hold on. Gall told her in recent parts of the river. Starting the government. Sound like George Collin. Yeah, I sound nothing like George Collin because I'm not 106.
He's calling you guys
and
Bill
dead.
Hacks.
Bill Hacks.
He didn't really have a question. You just wanted to.
You want to take a dig?
Oh yeah, a little input into. All right, good email.
Yeah, good email. I'm not voting for her.
Yeah, she
Also,
sucks.
I'm never going to Toledo.
I'm voting for her.
All right, that's Okay, so this.
2 more from Google account. They fucking
Yeah.
love us, dude.
So I'm gonna bleep this part of what I'm about to say, but this is from our mom.
Oh,
So maybe I won't bleep it. This is from our mother. She goes, "Hey there, love the podcast. Keep it up. Questions. What is your determining factor to claim that you bombed, and how do you turn it around?" What is your determining factor to claim that you bombed, and how do you turn it around?
Well, it starts with the deafening silence.
yeah.
It starts with 3 jokes in and crickets.
one joke in.
Also, losing your composure.
Yeah.
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 It starts with the flop sweat where you're like, oh Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Determining factor. Yeah, it's the silence. It's the. I bombed last week right before my show. I went up and I tried like a riff off of something someone else said, and it bombed, and then that set the tone for the whole show.
Yeah.
So the whole show, so all my jokes, it almost didn't matter what my jokes were or how I did them. I fucked up the first impression. So that was a big determining factor. How do you turn it around? I've never turned around a bomb.
I don't know if I have either. Have you? Have you ever turned a bomb around?
I mean, I was talking about that one black show that I was doing, and
Oh, yeah.
just be racist is my advice.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you can do it if you just like. Sometimes they're just not like vibing with the material. Like the audience has kind of like come to expect like interaction. So like talking to the audience or just like commenting on what's going on can help it.
I've not, maybe not turned around a bomb, but I've changed my fucking circumstances by mid-set knowing I'm bombing, and then I just drop my material. I'm like, I'm not gonna do any of this. I'm gonna try like something new.
Yeah.
I've done this before. I've just like dropped my shit and told like a story, and while telling that, it kind of people start to laugh because I'm telling it for the first time, and that gives me a little excitement. I'm like, oh, this is new. I'm not just reading from a script. So I've done that maybe once.
I've never been able to turn around a bomb
Yeah.
ever, and I think that's just like a time in the slot kind of thing. Like eventually, I hope, right? I'll be right. I hope I'll be able to do that eventually. But it's just like, dude, every time I'm up there, I'm just like, just bombing, dude.
Yeah.
It just
I can't-
just never works, man.
I can't remember who it was. I was listening to a podcast recently, and like, I think it was Ari Shafir, but he was saying like, the experience you have in comedy, like getting good at comedy, isn't getting funnier. It's learning how to adapt to different situations.
Yeah.
And like I think that's true. Like when you look at people who are like really have it nailed down, it's not so much that their joke, right? Like it does improve, but that's not the biggest thing. Is that they know how to adapt.
Yeah. They learn how to start bombing and then turn it around.
Yeah.
You can also just help to do like different types of material.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I will come in too hard, and then I got to do like more sympathetic stuff, which ironically is the suicide stuff.
Yeah, dude, that's his sympathetic stuff. That's his light shit.
I'm just like, look, I don't like me either.
What are some tips on how to read the room?
Well,
Racial profiling.
I was
right.
dude. I was about to say, I was like, make sure everyone's the same race you are.
It really is just police demographics.
Yeah, quick, dude. No, it really is that. That's what's so funny. It really is. It kind of is that.
Look,
And reading how what other comedians' jokes, like what their jokes, like what do well and what bomb.
dude. A big thing maybe people talk about. I don't know. I've never heard anybody talk about it. It's like going on first versus going on towards the end. Because like, especially if it's like a super diverse room, or on the other end if it's like a very homogenous room, the person that goes on first, second, third, you can kind of get a gauge of it. And if you're in that kind of lineup, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. But if you're going on last on one of those shows, you kind of have a little bit of something to go off of. You're like, all right, yeah. Like this has worked. This has gone on. And another thing is, dude, one thing I love, I don't know what it's called. I haven't like figured out like a name for it, but it's like when like the first comic goes on, or even more so, it's like the second comic goes on and like riffs off something that like is either weird in the room or the first comic said, and it becomes like a through line. The whole set. So then you have like 10 other comics all riffing on the same through line, and then it goes to that last guy, and he like just nails. He just nails that like that sentiment.
Yeah,
I love that.
So much to work
That's
with.
what makes a good open mic, is if there's like something that everyone in the room is kind of laughing at. That's like not usually happening.
Something happens,
And it takes you out of the monotony.
Yeah, there was this one show that we both did at the Hollywood Comedy, and there was a cricket in the crowd, like a legit.
There was a real loose cricket like in the building,
and I was the first dude to bring it up. Like there was a few comics that went on, no one talked about it, and everyone heard the cricket, like, literally being a cricket, and I went up and it started going, and I was like, "Is that a cricket?" Like seriously, I've only done one joke, and like I riffed on like the cricket, and then the rest of the set, every
dude,
the last like, the cricket's going again.
The last 8 comics all touched on that. There's no better feeling than that. Dude.
Yeah. If I can go up last in a lineup and just like comment on other people's sets, that's so much fun.
It's really nice. She says, "Love you tons."
XOXO. Well, thank you so much.
She means you too. She loves you too, bro.
Yeah. That's
the email segment of the podcast. Make sure you email us, bombingpodcast@gmail.com. We read them every week live on the podcast. That's bombingpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We will answer anything. Email us a picture of a diarrhea, and we'll look at it. Email us a picture of something
Social
else.
Security number. Ask them their Social Security number.
Yeah, we'll tell you.
Both sides of your credit card.
That's right.
We'll use it.
Ask us anything. We'll fucking read it.
Yeah.
We got an email from your mom. What's her maiden name?
Yeah.
Will you put that over there?
Yeah. All right. Luke, do you have any did you have any topics that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, did you have any questions for us?
Huh.
Nah, he's on the spot. He's like, I didn't think of anything.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be doing that. I didn't think I'd be doing all the heavy lifting.
You boys aren't that interesting.
Jamie, bring up a video.
I wish I had a Jamie.
I don't know what. I mean, you guys have been doing. I'm pretty impressed by the production value of your guys' podcast.
Well, thanks,
man.
It's pretty.
Which one of you is responsible for that?
The podcast is sort of my era.
Okay.
My area of the thing. He does more of the stand-up stuff. I sort of handle the podcast.
Okay. And also, actually, your guys' whole dynamic of being brothers, it seems... I wouldn't have guessed you guys are brothers, apart from obviously looking very similar.
Looking like Hitler.
But you might just have similar political beliefs. Have you guys have always been roommates then?
Not always, man.
I mean, yeah, kind of our whole life. But then when in high school, he went off to college, and I went off to college, and we had sort of our separate little journeys, or whatever you want to call it. And then my journey, mine, and then we found stand up, and then sort of came back together, and but yeah, we've sort of lived together our whole lives.
This apartment, is it 2-bedroom?
It's a 1-bedroom. There's 2 beds in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
nice.
very
We
sad.
actually share a twin. That's
It's a roomy twin.
yeah, man.
So then once one of you gets a serious girlfriend, it's gonna be catastrophic.
That's
I
right.
imagine not a clean break. You
Don't-
run off to Australia with that gross old whore.
Gross old whore, dude. It's good. I think.
And then he just marries whoever's batting clean up at Badger and Jam.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I did.
That's right. What's her name? Fucking Violet.
Yeah, let's name specific people.
Yeah, let's name names.
Yeah, dude. No, we got a good dynamic.
Yeah.
I think being brothers, that helps a little bit.
Yeah.
We have a good dynamic.
Dude, our dad, our father, when we would go out for a family dinner.
Him and your mom weren't even this good of roommates.
That's right. That's right. They sucked.
This is why we had you on, Luke. No, dude, our dad, like when we would go out to dinner for like a celebration or whatever, he would make us sit at separate sides of the table because all we would do was cut up and like ruin the whole night.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got a pretty good dynamic. I think it works. Yeah, a lot of people don't think we're brothers until we say.
The fake last name definitely adds to it.
Yeah, so that's his middle name.
That's my middle name. That actually came up. I've told this story before. That came from when we were growing up at Third Coast. The guy hosting the shows the open mics that we were going up to, must have been blind as a fucking bat because we would always sign up back to back, and like 6 weeks went by and like I wasn't getting spots and Ryan always signed up first, and so like 1 week I just signed up as like Hayden, my middle name Wyckoff. And I started getting spots again. And we later found out, like right before we moved, that he just thought that Ryan was signing up for 2 spots. He wanted like to do 10 instead of 5. And I kind of just stuck. So
Yeah. And I like it a lot because it sort of gives us a different identity.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, those brothers. It's like if you know we're brothers, then you know we're brothers. But it's like it makes us different people.
And now you know, so we're going to have to kill you.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
So it's not like Hayden and Ryan Jennings. It's like, oh, that's Hayden. That's what he does. Then this is Ryan. That's kind of what he does. And I think that helps a lot. So I like that.
A little bit.
2 more brother questions. One, who do your parents... Actually, of the 4, I've met your other 2 brothers.
You have?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Rank who your parents love from most to least.
All right.
I'm at the bottom.
All right. Starting out at number 1 was probably my mother's first stillborn child that was never born. That was probably the first one.
Quitter.
Yeah, exactly. Number 2.
There's no order, dude.
Probably the lady that cleans her pool. 3. Dude, at least on my dad's side, probably the guy that does his taxes, and then starts maybe me, just for being the oldest. So I've been around.
No, there's no order.
I've had enough time to build up some.
One of your brothers is an American hero in your first place.
Yeah, for real. One of my brothers is a Marine, and then there's 3 losers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
One's gonna finish college.
Yeah. For the first of them.
How you guys are getting top billing is starting to. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Hayden and I are at the bottom.
Yeah. It's got dude. Our whole brotherhood is like 2 guys that talk about shit and penises all weekend. A guy that's in charge of missiles, and then a dude going to college and all.
Guy's gonna graduate next year.
Yeah.
For my family, it's Adam, Christine, Luke, Matthew.
Yeah. You had that
chiseled in stone.
I'm concerned how quick you rattled that off. That was nuts.
I know what you're saying. Oh, are they all lawyers? No, they're not.
Fuck.
You had to, like being a lawyer wasn't enough. You're like, I've got to do something. I've got to make it an entertainment.
What else? How about I get my name on the comedy scene?
How do I get more impressive than my sister who bears children?
Yeah. Well,
oh wait, one more question.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do mics on your own, like not with each other?
Yeah, he went the other
Every
week.
once in a while.
Oh, okay.
You went the other week to do a prep for your show.
Yeah, I had it. I did, but the day before my show at Ha Ha's, I went to Hollywood Comedy just to kind of knock some dust off. And,
Yeah.
Or if he's got like a I'll hit like a one-off mic once in a blue moon. It's just easier together because we're here.
It's so much easier together because we both do it, and it's like we both have sort of the same schedule, so we just let's just go together. We'll do it, and we can film each other, which is nice. Which I love.
Dude, underrated filming your set.
Yeah.
Like recording it's fine, but like filming it is like a totally different animal because you're like, oh hey, my why was I leaning on my right leg during this joke, and you totally overanalyze yourself, but I think it's good for your set.
It's tough for me because I hate the way I look so much. But
yeah, dude, welcome
like
to the club.
it does. Like sometimes I just won't watch it. Like I'll see it and I'm like, oh man.
Now you need to. Do you film yourself when you go on stage?
From time to time. Honestly, I mostly just do it so I can post it on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's very little critical review.
I love TikTok, dude.
So
TikTok's a great app.
Xi Jinping can track all your shit. Dude, as long as the president of China knows how well I'm doing in Los Angeles, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I want every set I do on recording.
Yeah.
Just because.
I don't think the bar association wants every one
Probably
of my sets
not.
up there.
What's the speaking of being a lawyer, like what's the plan long term? Are you gonna keep doing lawyer stuff until like the stand up takes off, or like what?
That's the hope. I mean,
Yeah.
so it might still happen, but kind of like a big break. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Not in
Lawyer?
comedy, but like in an acting,
Oh.
which I'm not into, but like just as a credit to
Yeah.
get me better spots.
Hell yeah.
But I can't do it because I can't get the visa.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, is this a Vancouver gig?
No, it's a LA one.
Oh.
Um,
So what? Are you still a Canadian citizen?
Yeah, I'm here on work visa
For how long?
Oh, dude.
for as long as I have my job.
Right on.
Yeah.
Wow, what is that like? Knowing that like any minute it's just like it's over, dude.
I mean, if I lost my job, yeah, it could be over. And like that's kind of what happened right after law school. That's why I was in Canada for a while. But I mean, it would suck so bad if it happened. But yeah.
If you need to hide out here, you can.
Yeah,
You
dude.
can
If
hide
you
out
want to
here.
hide from the law.
Well, when I was here last year, I didn't have a visa or anything. I was just here like as a visitor for 6 months, and because I worked remotely for a firm in Canada, so it didn't matter where I was.
Yeah.
And then like the week before I went to New York, which is going to be the last month in the States before I had to come back, I got a job offer for a year in LA.
And that's that's what you're doing now. That's
Yeah.
what stuck you here.
Yeah, so it was, yeah.
So you're like
God.
you're like in America on like dicey grounds. That's like
No, I'm in totally legal grounds. I can't make that clear enough.
okay. Let me be clear.
Dicey. I don't know what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
You want my Thursday hosting spot?
Yeah.
That cush job. No, it was yeah. No, I'm totally here legally. It is tough to get because like just to get someone to hire you and sponsor you for a visa.
Yeah.
Like luckily my boss is like a friend from college,
Cool.
so that's how it worked out. Like I don't think it would have otherwise. Like I'd pretty much given up on being a lawyer in the States actually before that. But yeah.
What are you more passionate about, stand up or being a lawyer?
Oh, stand up.
Stand up.
Honestly,
You gonna take it all the way?
after I got like sent back to Canada after law school, I really lost like the passion I had for it.
Yeah.
Like now, like I enjoy what I do, and some of it's come back. Like I'm not like destitute about it anymore. But for a while there, I was just like really depressed, and I was like, I don't care about being a lawyer.
Yeah. Because I'm a busboy.
Yeah.
I don't care about being a busboy.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad I have a job that like I have to use my brain and
Yeah.
like I feel proud of. Like I can feel proud of. I don't really like, but I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that for both law firms. I work for people that I consider friends. And
That's
cool.
gotta be
Yeah.
so much better.
Would you ever consider like I don't know how hard the process is. Would you ever consider like applying for American like USA citizenship?
Oh, I absolutely want to once I can.
How hard is that? Is that like
When-
as big a pain in the ass as I think it is?
You need to be here for 7 years on an immigrant visa. I'm on a non-immigrant visa.
Okay.
I can get an immigrant visa as a lawyer once I've been a lawyer for like so many years. I think it's like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So at that point, I can start the 7 years. Or I mean,
oh,
if,
you can't even start till then.
yeah. But I mean,
Fuck,
if
dude.
things go well, like
Sounds like a lot of work.
as far as comedy wise, like my big goal is to get an O1 visa, which is like a entertainment one.
Is
Yeah.
that like an exceptionally specific job visa?
It's called like the alien of exceptional abilities.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's super tough, and like that's kind of the only visa that would let me do that show that I got offered.
yeah.
So, and I'm not. That would be my first credit. So like, I don't have that proof that I'm exceptional.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you
Unless
wanna
I
talk
just
ab-
like sent in a letter to them. It's like, guys, I'm really funny.
Do you want to talk about that show that the offer or not? Not really.
No, just because it's not.
I feel that.
Yeah.
It's not set in stone or
Yeah,
whatever.
but no, it would have been really cool. But and it makes it like I called the guy and I was like, hey, I don't know if I can get this, and he's like, it's Hollywood, we'll make it happen. And it's like he didn't accept me saying I don't think it's possible. 'Cause, like I talked to a few lawyers, like
Yeah.
immigration lawyers, and they're like, yeah, I'm sorry, and then I called him and he's like,
Dude.
and he's like, man, you just keep doing open mics.
Yeah, dude.
We'll talk later. I'll check in with some people because I know some other people going through it. So I mean,
Yeah.
he has done cool stuff. So like I do kind of trust him. Maybe he can find a way, and that would be great.
Yeah.
But
Or he rapes you at the Viacom office later on. So.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
Possibility.
yeah,
It's
just
possible.
casting couch.
It's casting couch, dude.
But yeah, that's like I need to get good enough at comedy that I get the recognition that I can get that visa. But
Well, dude, you're on the right path for sure. Because
Yeah.
we think you're hilarious.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, we think you're very funny, and
we're buckling down.
man, I'm so glad my mama shat me out in Tennessee here in the States. Because
Right.
7 years trying to be a lawyer just to get to this place, dog. That sounds so hard.
oh, when I think of all like the hassle and like stuff I've gone through, and how like it's just because I was born a few hours north of the border.
right, dude, right
It's
there.
so frustrating. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I lived in an artist commune through law school with 19 roommates.
That's so fucked.
And like I was broke for 3 years and then
Yeah.
like getting sent back to Canada for a year and a half, like during the pandemic when like Canada was crazy.
Yeah.
And and all of it, and then like I could have just accepted the show no problem if I was just born here and I could like get paid for gigs here.
Yeah.
Dude, that's rough. That's rough.
But I couldn't be happier to be in LA.
Yeah.
Dude, we say that all the time.
Yeah.
We talk the most shit about Los Angeles. Like, I mean, like, you know, like homeless, everything about LA.
Yeah.
We talk the most shit. But, like, anytime, like, we're actually asked by, like, you know, people back home or anybody, like, hey, like, are you enjoying yourself? Like, are you having a good time? I'm having a
It's
blast.
because
Yeah.
of the shit you're doing.
I'm having the most fun of my entire life.
Yeah.
Living at it as wild as it is, as like you put your mask on, locks downs, and then now like gas is $8.
Yeah.
All that aside, like yes, that does suck, but all that aside, I'm having a fucking blast out here in LA,
Yeah.
dude. It's so fun.
So
It's
fun.
so
Hitting
fun,
mics.
and I can't explain it to like people back home. It's like it's the most fun I've ever had in my whole life, and I love it out here.
And it's also like, and that's just the stuff we're doing.
yeah.
Like I know that there's so much cool stuff to be doing in LA and around LA. Like
Yeah.
we're so close to San Diego, we're so close to San Francisco.
Yeah.
There's like the deserts, there's mountains, you can go snowboarding and shit. Like
Yeah, man.
yeah.
It's the coolest.
Dude, hitting mics, fucking going out to cool restaurants, meeting people. We're just starting to book shows.
Finally,
The ball is like starting to roll.
things are starting to move. It's
Comedy-wise.
It's good.
And yeah, I'm just really excited for the fucking future
Yeah.
of what's to come in comedy.
Speaking of which, can I plug a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
doing
ahead.
it. I'm doing an amusement park by the river in Toledo.
Opener is that lady, that fucking lady who I forgot her name.
All
Jamie,
right.
Jamie, bring up the link. You got to Google Translate it because
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is in
yeah.
tongues.
Yeah. Oh, it's Russian but upside down. It's gonna be very hard to translate.
Do you
All
have
right.
Do you have any shows coming up?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I got
Me neither.
nothing.
All right, well,
Me neither. I'm a fucking loser.
All right. Well, those two idiots have no shows. I will be at Ha-Ha's in North Hollywood
right.
the 10th of the next month. Go get tickets if you're here.
That's right. Which none of them are.
Other than that, please keep emailing us. Anything else? You want to plug your social media?
Oh yeah, at Luke David Walls.
At Luke David Walls. Go follow this guy.
At Luke David Walls on Twitter and Instagram, and then I think it's Luke David Walls 222 on TikTok.
There you go. Go.
Final words I want to say.
Yeah.
Luke, we like you a lot.
Yeah.
We want to
Yeah.
keep hanging out with you. Like I said when we started, there's not a lot of people that you meet that you think are really taking it like serious.
Yeah.
And you think give a shit, and you think like could take it the distance.
Yeah.
We're trying to, and we're trying to meet people who are like-minded, and we think you're one of them. So
Please call me back.
please,
Please. Please.
So, but we'll see you around, man. We'll see you.
Yeah.
back
Well, hey,
around.
hey, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Number 23, Luke.
Dang.
Thank you so much for coming on. We'll have you on again sometime, and that's all she wrote, folks.
All right. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right.
That was good.
And that's the first podcast I've done where it wasn't like, you probably don't want to air that.